Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing, single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss what bourbon has taught us. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Linda Modica, Jeff Andreezy, Darren McElroy, and Dana the Dreamer 6.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey. Howdy.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, so we're going to be talking today about what bourbon has taught us. We'll get to that after the break. For right now, though, Beka said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that?
Yes. So I am wondering if someone who, in general, you trust, I would assume this would be, I mostly mean like a best friend, your spouse, comes up to you with a spoon or some sort of like a little like some sort of food item.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's something that you don't know what it is, and they go,
"Is it creamy?"
No. Hold on, Steve. And they go, "Here, taste this. You'll really like it."
No. No.
You won't taste it.
No. Absolutely not. No. No.
Okay. Dana's just out already. Beka hasn't even given any parameters.
I just want to know if you guys will if someone who I trust and love comes up to me, or we're sitting at dinner and and let's just say for some reason I don't know what it is that they're eating, and they go, "Oh, you need to taste this. You're going to really like it."
Yeah.
They should know what I like.
Yeah. No, they fucking with me. No, they fucking with me. No.
Right.
Dana's got trust issues.
I do.
Right. I have to agree with Dana.
Can hear me. He came up here trying to get through the door.
Okay. Royce is stuck. He can't get in the door.
No, he said, "That's about me."
Okay, that's about me. Okay. All right. Royce has been let in the door.
I'm just wondering if you guys will eat the food that your spouse
No.
brings up.
I don't trust.
Yeah, they gotta eat it first.
Also, is there a difference between your spouse trying to feed you or your best friend trying to feed you something that they say, "You're gonna love this, taste it," and you go,
No, Beka's my best friend, and I wouldn't trust her. No.
Oh God, I didn't get this body by
not trying things.
Food. Oh, yeah, by not trying things.
I think that Darren is going to say yes to this.
Well, Darren eats anything. Yeah.
Darren will say yes.
Darren is going to say yes.
And I say yes.
Darren is also going to say...
I already knew fucking Steve would say no.
I'm with Dana.
Yeah, no.
Dana's got trust issues. Linda...
No, it's a big fat fucking no. Because my family is not nice, and if they say taste this, smell this, look at this, it looks awful, it smells
always a joke.
terrible, and it tastes really, really horrible. It's never anything good. It's always
taste this.
I think that this is mostly all just trust issues here, is what this is.
Yeah, well,
I think that this is separating who has trust issues.
I think we're 3-3 tie here, so it's deadlocked. So we need to bring in Royce.
Royce Royce will not.
Okay,
like,
good.
I go,
win.
Here, taste this. And he goes, no. And I'm like, you're going to like it. No, you're doing something weird to me. I've never done something weird. Royce.
Well,
can hear me.
Maybe you're starting today.
I never try to feed him something weird. I always try to feed him good things that taste good, things that are tasty.
I would want you too. You're
someone's must have tried to fuck with him too many times. I don't know.
You're a wild card. Yeah.
Beka, you hand me something, I'm going to try it.
Yep.
Really?
I was gonna say, I don't think it even has to be someone I'm related to. It has to be someone I love. I don't know what that means.
If it's someone who I know, okay. Kyle Neely tries to give me some fucking food. Leave me alone, Kyle. I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, don't trust Kyle.
I think if I've
Jim
met you
Gokin tries to give me some
times,
fucking food. I'm not gonna eat food from Jim Gokin.
Jim Gokin says, "Here, try this, Beka. I want you're gonna like this."
If it's someone who I know in general has my best interest at heart and is never like just pulling pranks on me, and they're also eating it, and they're like, "Oh, this is really good. You should taste it." I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see if it's any good. But
what if it's Neil Robinson? What if it's Neil Robinson?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Neil Robinson can't do harm to anyone.
Oh, that's what you think. He took me outside one day. He took me outside one day and told me how it's going to be. Yeah.
Well,
he's like,
sometimes, Steve, you need that.
He puts his arm around me and says,
arm around you.
Yeah, can I speak to you outside for a second?
I would trust Neil Robinson, absolutely.
He got Godfather on me. He told me how, and believe me, I listened to him. I cranked up the ABV network stuff he did. Yeah.
I would trust Neil Robinson. I'd trust Melanie. Yeah. Absolutely.
So my level of trust goes, if I've met you about 3 times and you tell me to trust something, I think I'm good. I'm in.
I'm like a spice bitch. So like if anyone's trying to feed me something, it's probably like, oh, this is spicy. But it's like, oh, try this. Like, no, fuck no, I'm out.
You're out. You're not going to do it.
Who's hurt you, Dana?
Dana, who's hurt you?
My parents.
It's like
the artist
gets therapy session.
The artist and I like to sample our food as we're going along. And if we're in the kitchen together, we're gonna try it.
I want to taste a little piece of everybody's food at the table.
Oh, really?
I'm always
trying the next table over and the next one.
I'm trying to eat everybody's food. I always want a little bite of almost everything. Now, there's one person I won't trust most of the time, and it's my dad. But it's not because he has it's not because he doesn't have my best interest at heart. It's just that he forgets that like I don't eat seafood. So he'd be like, "Oh, try this." I'd be like, "Dad, that's literally like fucking seafood pizza. I don't want it." He'd be like, "Oh, right, you don't eat seafood." I'm like, "Yeah." So no, in general, he means.
Are you the only one in the family that doesn't eat seafood?
My mom doesn't eat seafood.
She doesn't eat it, so you get it honestly from mom. So Eddie, no problem. He'll eat seafood.
Eddie will eat anything. Anything.
Eddie, here's a lobster dinner. He'd
literally anything you put in front of Eddie, he will try.
Love everything I've heard about Eddie. I think he's my favorite person.
Eddie will try any.
You would like hanging out with Eddie.
At any time, Eddie will try any type of food that there ever was and ever is. He will taste it. I've never seen Eddie go, ooh, no, don't give me that food. I'm scared of it. Like he's like, yeah, I'll taste it, whatever it is. Sure. Eddie will always
go away.
Eddie will taste anything spicy, weird, doesn't matter.
Eddie's in. He's gonna give it to
Eddie's
Yeah, I think Eddie and I could hang.
Oh yeah.
Unless he tried to give me a red onion, then I'm out.
Oh,
you don't like
red onions? You're lying.
No, onions are nasty.
Red onions, I can't do it. My whole family knows I can't do it.
Is that also the issue here with my? Actually, wait, hold on a second. This makes sense with Steve. Now I'm learning that Dana is scared of foods. Dana, do you have food things? Are you weird with food?
Oh, like you, Beka.
Are you a chicken bitch?
Beka, don't act like you're normal.
Okay, Steve, all you eat is steak and fried chicken.
Okay, sure, that's fine.
And French fries.
Yeah.
Your favorite vegetable is mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I have like a list of like 5 things I don't like to eat.
Yeah, but you're violent about them. You can't be like, that's just something I don't like. You get angry at people who like
cilantro.
Right.
Cilantro.
Feta cheese.
Seafood, which is a big group.
I said seafood.
That is a big group.
That's a big group. You're eliminating a lot.
Did you say fettuccine?
Yeah.
Feta cheese.
Feta cheese. That makes more sense.
Fettuccine.
Fettuccine.
I love spaghetti, but I hate fettuccine.
No, feta. I hate feta.
That's all texture.
But do you like blue cheese? Because blue
Love
cheese
blue cheese. It's two different types of animals, Dana. One is a goat.
I understand, but
it's goat cheese. That's way different. They're two completely different fucking things.
Well, goats are evil. We know that. Look in their eyes.
Exactly.
You don't think a goat's evil.
Goats are evil.
They look like the devil.
Sheep and cows are good. They literally have weird slit eyes.
Right.
They're evil.
Right. Don't cats have weird eyes though too?
No, cat's eyes are fine. Cat's eyes are
not good. As weird as goat eyes.
Goat eyes are fucking evil.
Goat eyes are terrifying.
Goat chops are delicious though.
Sheep don't look scary because sheep have
goats are delicious.
Yes, goat. That's the biggest meat served across the world.
Lamb is good. But lamb is not goat.
I don't kill animals because I'm not, myself personally. I mean, I know I kill a lot via eating, but if I had to kill an animal and they're like, you have to kill a mammal, I would go for the goat. The goat. Fuck the goats. All goats can die. I'll shoot the goats. No.
Yeah, goat.
Put that goat
so I was thinking like physically fighting a goat. I wasn't thinking about the easy option out. I was like, man, they're gonna ram you a couple times. It's not the easiest one. I was thinking,
if they're like, you got to kill a mammal, go ahead. This is part of the challenge. You got to kill a mammal. I'm like, please set up a goat and I'll take care of it.
Everyone knows that the cuter animals taste better.
Yeah,
sure.
Veal,
bunnies.
That's why I think hedgehogs are the best tasting animal in the world. I've never confirmed this.
What?
Where hedgehogs? And they're covered in spikes.
Quail's delicious.
You don't cover yourself in spikes if you're not delicious. There's no reason to cover yourself in spikes. They have to taste amazing.
Well, they can't run fast enough, so it's like they gotta have some defense on them.
Oh, I think so the meat's really tender and not used? Great.
No.
It's not a bad... He's got a point.
Yeah.
Somewhat. No.
Well, is porcupine a close second?
Yeah, I think porcupine's a close second.
Wait, where do you get that? What the fuck?
Or first.
What about a sloth then?
They're just not as cute. So
sloth is barely moving. That
sloth.
But they also have like a lot of mold and stuff that grows on them. So I don't know how you have to prepare a sloth, but I'm sure there's some extra stuff.
I don't want to shoot a sloth.
I think a sloth probably has a fatty liver too.
Yeah.
They only leave, so that's.
Here's why I respect the sloth. The sloth can barely move. Here's why I respect the sloth. The sloth can barely move. It's just going 6 feet it takes all their energy to work. But if they got to take a shit, they'll get out of their tree and go all the way down there, take a shit on the ground, and then climb back up. Even if it takes them a whole day, they might die. What'd you do today? I took a shit.
They might grab their own arms if it's a tree branch.
The animal that I hate is a mouse. They create bedding and then they just piss and shit in there. They don't care. They're just like, oh, I live here. I'm pissing right now. This is where I'm going to sleep tonight.
You're correct, Steve.
Yeah. I hate fucking mice, rats.
If I had to kill a mammal, it's a mouse.
Mouse.
Oh, they're cute. I don't want to kill a mouse.
I hate mouse.
I'd kill a goat over a mouse.
I don't like goats either, but.
Mice are.
I think mouse would be
so tasty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Goats are dead, and feta is disgusting. I don't care what.
Feta is good. I like
feta.
I do. I like feta and steak. You ever had that with noodles? Feta steak.
You like feta?
I do. Yes, I do.
Is there many cheeses that you don't like?
Go feta over blue cheese.
No, that
texture
like feta
over
is horrible.
Blue cheese.
No, I do. I like Greek food, and there's a lot of feta in there. So
wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me that he'll eat feta, but he won't eat any vegetable at all.
Yeah, he won't eat any fucking vegetables.
Macaroni and cheese.
But feta cheese is chill with him.
Any vegetables?
Thank you. That makes zero sense.
It makes no sense at all.
No spinach, please. But I'll take the feta.
Yeah.
Can I get the feta salad without the salad?
And spinach barely has a taste. There's not much of a taste.
Spinach. Fine. I mean, spinach would be low on the list of vegetables I don't like, but not canned spinach. Canned spinach is fucking abominable. That's like the goats of vegetables.
Broccoli.
I hate broccoli.
Frozen spinach sucks too.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, Steve. I love that Steve tries to give me shit for this stuff, but I eat every vegetable.
No, well, that's okay. You don't eat a lot of other shit. A lot of good shit you miss out on, and you're hateful.
What do I miss out on?
I'm not hateful about the vegetables.
Sea bugs.
I wish I liked the vegetables. I don't like them.
Bugs are not missing out on shit. I'm not Actually, I am missing out on shit because they're filled with shit.
Well, a lot of stuff's filled with shit. So yeah.
Steve, did your mom make you sit at the table and finish your vegetables? Is that the deal?
Yeah. I mean, they went through phases. I was a hard one to break. So, I would find out what's for dinner. And if I knew I didn't like it, I would just hide shit in my room. I would be like, oh, okay, well, mom's doing this. I would just go and get, raisins out of the thing. We had boxed raisins, things like that to make lunches because we couldn't afford the school lunches. They were like 15 cents for a school lunch. So I would have to, bring something from home. So I would just take some of those things and I'd hide them in my room because I know I'm going to get sent to my room. So, yeah. And then we had a thing too where my dad was like, well, I'll just feed him. I'll just force feed him this. I'll just grab him, I'll hold him down and shove the shit in his mouth. That didn't work either. So, yeah. Eventually, by age like 6 or 7, I broke them where they're like, there's nothing we can do here. And then they just let me go, and I didn't, I wish I liked vegetables. My life would be a hell of a lot easier if I liked vegetables. I don't like them. And I don't know what to say other than, everybody's like, well, you're just being difficult or you're trying to make a statement. No, I'm not. I'm not trying to make any fucking statement. If I could eat them, I would. But you have to think about what you don't like, whatever that is. And everybody has something they don't like, whether it's Beka with the lobster or Gokin with he hates tomato. He likes everything but tomatoes, which is a weird thing to hate. Whatever it is, that's.
You like tomatoes, Steve?
What's that? No, I
like
like
tomatoes.
No, no, it's a vegetable.
So like some sauced.
Yeah, I like it sauce. Yeah, sure.
Steve, I've got a wild asparagus patch on my property. I
don't want that.
Oh, it's so good. Terrible.
Wild asparagus.
So yellow mustard. I can do all the other
house of vegetables.
Yellow mustard.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yellow mustard?
Yeah, just yellow mustard. I like Dijon. I like
Yellow's not that good. Dijon and brown mustard is better than yellow mustard.
Yeah,
I always say, how bad is it? Like if you were like, I'll give you $1 million, but you got to eat this bowl of green beans. I couldn't do it.
Oh God!
You know what? My life's just fine.
Green beans for $1 million?
For $1 million, I couldn't do it.
$1 million.
But I could eat a bowl of yellow mustard for $1 million. Yeah,
I could eat a bowl of
yellow
truffles
mustard for $1 million. Jeez.
I couldn't eat any vegetable for $1 million.
Darren, there's a mainline brand of yellow mustard with Tabasco in it. It's fabulous. It's either Heinz
that sounds
or one
more
of those.
entertaining.
Yeah. It's called Dick Gazinia, the yellow mustard.
We almost made it to a recording session without that.
A visit from Dick. Yeah, there you go. All right, on that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? I'll go first. I've got Hardin's Creek, the Golden Origins, the bottle that I bought after spending a day hanging out with the nose at their house. Let me remove the strap. Give me a second here. All right, we'll move that so it's out of the way so I can allow me to get a clean cork pop. Here we go. See what we got here. Solid. It seems like it could be beat. I was crisp. I nailed it. There was no slosh or anything like that. I feel pretty good about that, and I'm going to take a nice pour to celebrate. But I thought that was good. But if they got the explosive cork pop, they're going to beat me. But we'll see what happens. We're going to let Linda go because she's been on a little bit of a tear here. We'll see if she can do better than that. All right, Linda, you're next.
I have Double Oak Peerless. This is Matt's. He got this from somebody, so it's mine.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. A little bit of a slosh at the end there. But the clean cork pop. We're going to go to Beka as our judge. We'll let her decide. Was it Linda or me there?
Got that.
Who did?
Linda.
Okay. Well, I have to live with it. As wrong as I think that is, and the biggest mistake is I believe Beka just made there, I have to live with that. Because we threw it to a judge. That's the rules of the Bourbon Daily. When we throw it to a judge, we have to live with it. So, Linda, you have the lead right now, even though it's not well-deserved at all. You have Darren, you're next.
I have the ABV Barrel Shop 16-year-old light whiskey pick from Rye 3.
Okay.
This one's coming in at 66.6.
Got to be one of the few bottles of that one left.
No.
In the world. No.
Squeaky,
nothing there. All right, Dana the Dreamer 5, you're next. Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on, get it right. Number 6.
Dana the Dreamer 6.
So, the basic bitch has entered the chat, so I got Woodford Double Oak.
Okay. Very cute cork pop. Not enough to overtake the lead here. Beka, you're next.
I've got some Toasted Peerless that I got at the New Orleans Bourbon Festival.
Okay. That was wild sounding. It sounded
almost
like you got
knocked yourself
digested.
out.
She did. It was super loud, but the sounded like it was being digested there. I felt like it went down her gullet there. I don't know what happened. We're going to throw it to Jeff here. Because Beka had several fouls there. It was a nice cork pop, maybe even I would say stronger than Linda's, but I don't know when you add in the foul situation there. Jeff, who do you think, Linda or Miss Beka Sue?
Nah, there were some fouls, but that Beka got that one all day.
All right, Linda. What just happened to you? You have to live with that. Don't forget. You saw how professional I took it. I didn't complain or whine about it at all. I just lived with it without in any way showing any emotion or anything like that. I just lived with the situation. Linda, I expect the same decorum from you. Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to throw a fit.
Jeff, you're last but not least. Beka has the lead. What do you got there?
I'm not expecting much because I've used this one before. It's a Dancing Goat, a quirkier toasted blend. A lot of toasteds tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to hold at the bottom, and I'm going to do the reverse grab.
Okay. That ended up being solid. It was really good, my friend. You brought one that could have won in many instances. It's not going to win tonight. Clearly, Beka won that one. So cheers to Beka. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be talking about what bourbon has taught us, if anything. Has it taught us anything? We'll talk about that after the break. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of Executive Bourbon Steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your Executive Bourbon Steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your Executive Bourbon Steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show.
Hello, this is Daddy Kennard, and I'm recording on the ABV network.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about what bourbon has taught us.
Yes, we are. Has there been anything that you've learned from bourbon? Has there been anything, any life lessons that you've learned from just this fine distilled spirit that is America's contribution to the world of distilled spirits?
So, go ahead.
Yep, let them talk. Let them talk, because they always want to say, like, this bourbon's great, this bourbon's blah, 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 blah. So always like to hear what they have to say.
That's when you learn that you listen to people now better, thanks to bourbon.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't know shit.
Okay, Sometimes they don't know.
Oftentimes.
But you allow them to talk. Yeah, as wrong as they can be, you allow them
Let
to
them
talk.
speak.
Okay. Let them speak.
Yep.
All right. Darren, you were getting ready to jump in. What are your thoughts?
I think I've learned a lot of good like life lessons. If you want to get into the real deep stuff, there's probably some like I've made a lot of friends like over a bottle of bourbon. And talking about bourbon, I have a job because of bourbon. All of that. But the thing that blows my mind every time is that I had and this isn't a big deal at all. This is just kind of a small fact that you learn when you're in the world of bourbon. But like that one of your nostrils only works at a time. No one ever tells you that when you're going.
This is what he learned.
Nasal cycling.
He learned about nasal cycling thanks to the world of bourbon. He would not have
no
known
health
that.
class ever tells you that.
Yeah,
no biology class.
He was thinking
but
about
the world of bourbon's like,
working at a zoo. He would not learn that. So this is huge for him. Okay.
Yeah, but the other things like the friendship and the companionship and like trusting other businesses to do their part and everything that the bourbon industry does so well goes without saying. I just didn't think that was a fun answer. So going with the nasal cycling.
Okay. Linda, well, how about you? What has bourbon taught you?
So I'm fairly new in my bourbon journey. I'm only 3 years in, actually, since I even tried it for the first time.
Okay.
And I just had no idea, like the camaraderie, the relationships, the clubs, just everything based around it.
Right.
I had no idea. That was like a community.
Right. Yeah. That's important for sure. I think it's one of the big things of bourbon for sure. Jeff, how about you, man? What has bourbon taught you?
So many things, Steve. I'll start with it's one, just about the people that are making these delicious spirits for us, the passion that's there. You're not just going to a liquor store and just buying a bottle to have fun on a Friday night. There's so much more behind it. And to piggyback that a little bit, it ties into the have a little patience. So when I was younger, it was just consuming volume.
Right.
So you'd Maker's Mark and Club Soda, and how many can you drink in a night versus taking it slower, having some stuff, maybe just have it straight. And then the third one is let your palate speak to you.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to your palate, give it a chance. So it isn't all Windsor Canadian that's all that was ever in my house growing up from my dad. Little Windsor Canadian. There's so many others. So I've just learned to just let it grow. And I've applied that to many other things. And for me, obviously it's cigars. There's so many similarities between the business models, and they both taught me so many things, but it started with the bourbon.
Right.
The whiskey. So
right. Beka's an interesting one because if you go back, first time Beka appears on the show, wasn't a huge bourbon fan by any means. And now her life is wrapped up in the world of bourbon. She's in a bourbon family, and her job is in bourbon. Her life is in bourbon. Everything she does at this point is in bourbon. So tell us what you've learned from bourbon.
I used to talk shit about bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
I said, if you want to just drink sweet water, just have some sweet tea.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like scotch.
Okay.
I would say that bourbon's taught me to be patient.
Right.
And not so much to be patient, like in a lot of different aspects. Because you have to be patient with bourbon, for one, because it takes time.
Right.
Like bourbon itself takes time, especially working in a distillery. Like it just takes time, but also the time goes by a lot quicker than you realize it's going to go by. But also just to be patient and to shut your mouth and let idiots speak sometimes.
Right.
And just brush it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
That's what Beka says every time before she gets on the show with me.
Every fucking time before I get on here, I'm like, just brush it off. You wouldn't think I think that because on the show I don't obviously abide by those rules. But in general, you kind of just got to brush it off because like everyone has their own opinions about things. And that doesn't necessarily mean that people are completely wrong. Now, I think that they're wrong sometimes, but what people like you just like let their palates like what your palate likes is what your palate likes, you know, and being patient with people in the distillery who don't want to listen.
Yeah.
and you can try to explain things and they still will not want to agree or listen to what you got to say.
It's the most annoying thing in the world.
You got to brush things off sometimes and not take it too seriously, because it's not that big of a deal and you'll probably never speak to that person again. And so if they want to be dumb, let them be dumb.
Yeah.
Let them not listen, whatever. It's not that serious as the other thing. I mean, for us it's serious. It's our livelihood, but in general in the world of bourbon, like, it's whatever. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
When it's your job, that's a little bit different, but with some of the things that we deal with, it's like, whatever. Like, it's not, that's fine. Like, it's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. But I mean, bourbon itself is just such an interesting, you find so many friends in it, and also just like, kind of like what Linda said, like the community behind it, like, just because like bourbon itself is what you can talk about, and everyone from every type of background and belief can be together when
age
it comes
group
to bourbon. And so like everyone can be accepted in, and like we've got friends from every side of the spectrum in this.
Right. When we do, we just came off an event where we rent the entire Bardstown Motor Lodge, and you look at that event, there's people in there from their 20s all the way into their 70s at that event, and they're all having fun. They're all doing the same thing. The common thing that brings them together is bourbon, but you know what? That's not the only thing part of their friendship. You end up finding that you got a lot in common with people who aren't your age. Becca and I met, I don't know, I was a 45-year-old guy or whatever. She's 25 at the time. I don't, what do we have in common? On the surface, probably nothing. And then when you get into it, Becca's one of my best friends in the world at this point. It's what brings us together is the bourbon. Why we're friends though isn't necessarily just because of bourbon, because I like hanging out with Becca, and we're not always just doing bourbon stuff. So you find that you're friends outside of that too, which is cool.
What it's taught me is you can find friends everywhere.
Yeah.
And literally all across the world, we have become, we've had some of the funniest trips and like ride-alongs with different people in different states with distributors and different events and stuff, where we have found people who, I don't want to say that we count as friends quite yet, but like just people who we would never even consider getting along with, who, if we lived in that state, we absolutely would hang out with that person.
Yeah.
And it's someone that we would like, it's just the most random people in the entire world.
You think about the people that we're friends with in our group. It's everything from, you go back to like somebody like Danny. Blue collar workers can be plumber, for a city. To then we have people who are CEOs of companies. We got multiple judges.
Two judges.
Yeah, we got two judges
that
we regularly
not an ex. I guess one of them's a judge.
One's a current judge. One was actually. So Whitlatch is a former prosecutor and judge. He served both. Katie, of course, is a judge now, and it's everything in between. I mean, yeah, it's so cool that we have this great diverse group of people that we hang out with, that our backgrounds aren't all the same. The things that we grew up in aren't all the same, but we're friends and we have a good time. And I love that when we get together in an event like that, like Bourbon Palooza, where it's not all, a lot of it's do your own thing. And you see these people get together and they're having dinner and things like that because they enjoy getting the group together. They're like, I haven't seen this person in a long time. Let's go to dinner together. And
the night before it officially started, people were reaching out to each other to go to dinner.
I have the biggest smile on my face as I'm seeing that, because I'm like, all this comes together because of the world of bourbon. Yeah. And what a gift this has given us. We have all these great friends that are hanging out, going to dinner, and just and looking forward to seeing one another. Looking forward to the events that I put on so they can see their friends from across the country. That's cool.
I'll say this.
Powerful.
One more thing that bourbon has taught me is you like what you like. And something that I think is really funny that I've noticed in the world of bourbon is, there's like starter bourbon people, right, who are not really pretentious and kind of like, are like, oh no, that's good. Like they just, honestly, starter people are kind of the best people because you can show them anything and they're open to everything.
Right.
And then there's the next step, which is the chasers and the pretentious bourbon people who it's got to be a certain age, it's got to be a certain
depending on where they're at in that journey, they can be
a big bourbon guy.
They get to kind of this like almost worse point,
Yeah.
And then there's the advanced level that almost reverts back to beginner level.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever thought about that, Steve, where the most advanced level of bourbon reverts back down to the beginner because the beginners are open to tasting everything because they don't know anything.
Right.
And when you get to the most advanced part of bourbon, that's where you start reverting back to, well, I'll taste anything because I want to taste something that's new and fun and fresh.
You're right on. That's a great way to put it. In that you discover that it is a journey that you're on your whole life. If you're doing it right, it never ends.
Yeah, that's how you know that someone's actually at the pinnacle part of their bourbon journey is when they revert back to beginner.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
Because the beginners are
I've never heard it stated that way, but that is right, Becca.
Yeah. I literally thought, I don't even remember who I was talking to. I think I was talking to the guy at the distillery about it. And I was like, my God, people actually just kind of revert back once they've surpassed.
Right. There's people who think the pinnacle is Eagle Rare. I found the greatest bourbon in the world. I just got to get more Eagle Rare.
Yeah. The craziest thing is at least when they want to keep advancing, I should say, the people that want to keep moving up, all of a sudden come back down, but to a normal level of I will taste anything. Yeah. And I think just being accepting of tasting whatever and not like that's a big thing is like you don't have to order and like look cool at what you order. Like you don't have to I'll take the Eagle Rare at the bar. Like order what you're gonna actually enjoy and like taste new things. And like I think that trying new things too is another big part of bourbon. Is like just like you've never had that, taste it.
Right.
Like learn about something that's new. Like exploring new things is a big part of bourbon. And like not just going like, well, I see that they've got Four Roses up there. I know that, so I'll taste that. Look at the list. Is there something on the list that you've never had before that could be cool? Ask them to bring the bottle over.
Yeah.
I said earlier, you keep your palate open, but how about what I've learned, and it's part through the Bourbon Daily and getting this opportunity. You'll get two people I've never met before on this session. It's awesome. Keep your mind and your heart open.
Yeah.
Keep it open because you're going to find some people that, and the one shared passion right now is the spirit, the whiskey, the bourbon. But holy cow, what a great ride you can go on. The journey isn't just about chasing nirvana, trying to find the best bourbon, because we're all going to pick our own favorite. But as we stay on that journey and keep looking and learn from each other, and the part about meeting people, what a fun trip.
Yeah.
So there was a guy in the shop the other day that would not listen to this podcast and think this was a good idea. He was kind of stuck in his ways. And I was trying to explain the bourbon journey because it is a thing. I don't care if you don't believe that you went on the same bourbon journey. It is a thing for 90% of the people out there. You start with the lower proof, you work your way up, and then you find a rye, and then you work your way up again. It kind of just happens all the time. And I was like, oh, yeah. He was going to try a pot still. And pot still is one of the things I'm like, probably not the most acceptable.
They got to be ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah, they got to be ready for it.
If you've only drank Eagle Rare your whole life and you think that's the pinnacle, if you're like, here's this pot still whiskey, whether it's Neely or some of the other ones that we've had, like our Lincoln Pinch Pick in there, that's going to be a shock to the system. They're actually, the chances of them liking that are going to be pretty minimal because it's not what they're used to tasting, right?
Not out of the gate. You better be ready for that funk.
Right.
And I was like, and then after he tried it, he's like, yeah, you're right. That's not for me. I was like, well, I said that, but thanks for listening. He just liked it because the bottle looked cool. And I was like, I could help. But then he was like, I don't see myself ever growing in. I think I'm just going to say right where I am right now. I'm like, okay, you're a lost cause. If you're committed to staying where you are right now and not improving your palate, not finding different flavors, great. Let's go back to the MGP that we have at the shop.
Then you're just a drunk.
Yeah. Then you're just
see. We can sound really elite here because we're like, no, I'm on a journey.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm journeying through the flavor.
What's your favorite? Really, probably the next one.
Where if you just stick on one thing, you're just a drunk. But if you travel through all the flavor profiles, you're not a drunk.
You're on a journey,
experiencing things.
And then, as Beka put it earlier, she said something about, you start at the base level and you're open for anything, and then you get into the asshole level, and then you get into the next level. Once you reach that next level, I automatically consider you my friend. Once you're like, I want to try whatever's out there, I have something in common. We can hang out for hours. Exactly. I don't care.
Those are they can drink the high proof stuff. They can drink the rye whiskey. They can drink the stuff that's 2 years old. They can drink stuff that's got a weird mash bill to it, and understand the interesting nuances about all of it. And they enjoy all of the different tastes that they're getting because they've already tasted all the fancy stuff. The fancy stuff doesn't matter anymore. The fancy stuff is non-existent at that point. Once you reach that actual like pinnacle level, all that stuff goes away, doesn't matter. All you want to do is taste cool things that are good.
Yes.
Yep. Darren, I think you just changed my life, because I think I've gotten stuck in the asshole level in so many things. I'm trying to get out of the asshole level in whiskey, cigars, and barbecue. I got to get the rest of my life out of asshole mode, because that's, if you ask 95% of the people I've ever met with, they'll say, what an ass.
Yeah. Darren and I had a guy like this in the shop today. We won't talk about too much about him, but he literally was like that, pointing out one of the products, said that tastes like my heart medication if I forget to take it with water. That is bad. He's like, you really shouldn't carry that. He's going, guess what? We just did a blind tasting with that, with other top whiskeys, both from the shop as well as allocated stuff. Guess what finished first in our group? People who drink whiskey every day, who are big into it. The one that he was talking about literally finished number one in that group blind taste. So our buddy Steinkamp does a blind taste. It finished number one, beating big brand. Even the brand that guy ended up buying that liked, and that it finished better than that. And but he wasn't ready for all he drinks.
He wasn't ready.
Allocated
you just
stuff.
said it. Yeah, not ready.
He wasn't ready. All he drinks is allocated. And to taste a good funky whiskey that is different. He thought it tasted terrible, but you know what? He doesn't know what he's talking about. And I know this. Yeah.
So that guy came to mind later in the day. Actually, he was on my mind all day today. He pissed me off. He was a problem. Yeah. But there was another guy that came in. It was his first time in the shop. Awesome guy. Sat there and talked to me for like 30 minutes before even asking to try something. Just wanting to talk whiskey, right?
You get paid for that?
But
that's his job. How great is that?
Sit there and talk whiskey with people that come in. But the guy was like, hey, I've never had a rye. I'm kind of new to this whole bourbon thing. Can I try a rye? And so I had him try the same damn bottle that this guy was bitching tasted like heartworm medicine or whatever.
Heartworm.
Yeah. He's a dog now.
Yeah, at this point, he's a dog. He's a Doberman. Yeah.
But he tasted the same bottle and walked out with 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was that good.
It's that good of whiskey. Believe me, it is.
Someone that's never had a rye whiskey before walked out with 3 of them, and this guy was like, "Oh no, that's the worst thing I ever had in the middle of a damn class."
Right. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And again, I get defensive, but I can't. Again, he's telling me what his palate, what he tastes, and whatever he tastes, he tastes. He's not actually wrong. He's an idiot, but he's not wrong. That's kind of how that stuff goes. For me, I don't know if there's anybody in the world of bourbon that has been more impacted by bourbon. It's shown me that at the final stage of your career that you can have the best time of your life, and really bourbon has done everything for me. I was in a corporate job. I hated my job, but basically it also means that you hate your life. And my dad passed away in 2012, and I had run this fantasy football league, and we used to do this thing where we would do events because I do everything over the top and all this. We would raise money and we would do events, and people had to pay for the events, but I would do these over the top events where we would raise money and donate to charity. It was a whole thing that I did. But after my dad was really into it, and I got to the point where having the league, which was 48 teams, is a lot. There's a lot of people to deal with. Once my dad died, who was really into that was something that he could do, even though he was at a point where he couldn't do physical activities, but the fantasy football league he loved. But when he passed away, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm done. And then lo and behold, what happened to all those friends that attended all those events? I did a lot of stuff. I had a very busy social life because I was doing all these events. They got busy, wrapped up in their own lives. I was like, shit, I'm not doing anything anymore. It's the warden and I. That's it. These are friends I had since high school, but they're busy. They go to the lake on the weekends. They have the kids that were in sports, and we're all wrapped up in that stuff. It's not that I don't like those people, but bourbon introduced me to a whole new group of people. My best friends now aren't this group that I had before I got into bourbon. It's my bourbon friends. It's the people that I met from bourbon. They really aren't my bourbon friends. They're just my friends.
Bourbon people equal best people.
Yeah, exactly. So it's evolved my life. So what has bourbon taught me? That there's a whole life that you can have out there that you might not even realize is out there if you dedicate yourself to it and hang out at a place like the ABV Barrel Shop. I mean, it's taught me that there's some cool things even for a guy like me. I'm 57 years old. It can happen for you. That you can get up in a good situation. Now I'm not. I'm not done. I'm thinking about what's the next phase. What's next? What's next after I'm at where I'm at now? What am I going to do to keep bourbon cool stuff going? So I love it, man. So bourbon's taught me a lot. That's for sure. So again, you think at this right here, every single one of you that is on here, I consider you guys a friend, and every single one of you I met through bourbon. I mean, how cool is that? If I never drank a drop of bourbon and never got into it, I wouldn't know any of you. I mean, what are the chances I would interact with you and what I was doing? Probably nothing. There's probably 0% chance. But
I probably would have helped you out at Schnucks one time. That would have been if we met. That would have been how it happened.
I'd be like that weird guy at Schnucks. Yeah.
With the long hair.
You kept your heart and your head open, your mind open.
Yeah. And I also realized, if you're going to build the things that I'm doing, whether it was the ABV Network, which is a community of people who, consumed our media, or the ABV Barrel Shop, I realized the importance of community, and you have to build the people. The reason why both of those businesses are great and continue to thrive is the great people behind them, the people that are involved in those. It's cool. And so I get to go and I hang out with the Neelys. I go to their house and hang out. I'm going to the Monica's place this summer and hanging out for a weekend. I'm looking forward to that. I was a guy who were my friends? Just the bourbon people. Am I doing anything with that group that I had friends before that? No, I got nothing planned with any of them, and so it's kind of a cool thing for sure that happens. It's a great offshoot. So bourbon has taught me basically everything I know at this point. Really, yeah.
All I really need to know, I learned through bourbon.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Your next book.
That's my next book. Everything I learned through bourbon. So yeah,
that's actually a really good book, Steve.
That should be.
Start working on that.
I should start working on that. Yeah. Yes, maybe that's part of the next phase. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about what can I do, because I still want to do stuff. I'm not. When I retire from the shop, whenever that is, I'm like, I don't want to just sit at home. I want to do things. So that's key. So yeah, what happens next? So fun stuff. Well, there you go. That's going to wrap this one up, as we always do, by talking about where people can find us. Linda, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Linda.monica1 on Instagram.
Okay. We got to check that out. Darren, how about you?
The only people that are allowed to follow me on Instagram are people that are in their self-actualized stage of bourbon and can accept anything. Okay. So if you are one of those people, follow me at The Bourbon Adventures.
Okay. Expect a friend invite from Tim Swyatt. He puts one out to anybody hears on the show. So Linda, get ready. The Tim Swyatt one's
You will have it you won't even know it's uploaded yet.
Yeah.
Still have
new show comes out. It's like, oh, here's Tim Swyatt wants to be your friend. Yeah.
Dana and Linda, I am already hooked up with you guys. So
yep.
Okay. There you go. All right. Next up is Jeff.
Well, you can find me on my bourbon and cigar journey on Instagram, Facebook, and the Cigar Dojo. Jeff Andreezy, 2 I's and 2 Z's.
All right. Dana the Dreamer 6.
You can find me thusly on Instagram as Dana the Dreamer 6.
Miss Beka Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
For me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check that out. Everything that we do is out there. Also, come by and see us. The ABV Barrel Shop. You never know who's going to be hanging out there. It could be Linda Monica. It could be Miss Beka Sue. It could be Darren. Anybody else is welcome to come by and join us as well. We'd love to see Jeff there. He's been there once.
One time.
If Jeff's there, everyone's going to be there, just so everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
If Jeff's there, it's a party.
Yeah. Jeff is, I guess when he retires, we're going to see him more. I would hope.
You will.
All right.
We'll talk after we sign off here, Steve. I got one event coming.
Okay, that sounds good. Dana the Dreamer 6, someday she'll head her way. We'll see. I'll try to get her
Some
there.
days.
Yeah. Maybe. All right, but yeah, check us out online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you're in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri. Or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.